Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Meredy and I am a first year 4th grade teacher, and that is insane to say, like blows my mind. So today's vlog is actually solely for the purpose of trying to catch up. I started a series forever ago of vlogs where I talked about the different levels or like different semesters leading up to student teaching, and I have been very bad about filming on a schedule. So initially I was going to have a prerequisite video, a level 1 video, level 2, level 3 student teaching, right? And I have explained in previous videos that my education program that I am going through is like broken up into levels to help you determine which classes to take, and they like build up on each other until you're student teaching. So this video is going to be an overview of both level 2 and level 3 because they are extremely similar with just a few differences. So with my level 2 and level 3 courses, almost every single class were like education classes, like education 3100, education 4250, like every single class was education classes. And they were great because they would focus on like different forms of instruction. We had an art class, we had a social studies class, we had math classes, we had, you know, language arts classes, and it was all about like how to teach these courses. So we prepared lesson plans for the different standards for the state of Utah, which is where we live. We taught those lessons to our classmates. We taught them to real students that are going to the different schools, like through our practicum experiences. And then we also just were able to see our professors teach different lessons and see how it feels to be the student and experience a variety of different kinds of lessons. So the main classes that I want to talk about in this video are my 2 practicums that I did. I did a practicum in 6th grade and a practicum in 1st grade. They were vastly different. One was at a charter school, one was at a public school. They were both great experiences. I'll talk about them. And then I'm also going to talk about the PE class I took and the art integration class that we took, because those 4, the 2 practicums, PE and art integration, really are what stuck out the most and felt so different from what I had already experienced in previous semesters. And in my previous videos of like with my level 1 overview, I really dove deep into what kind of assignments I had in each class, and really the other education courses I took in level 2 and level 3 did not differ much from those. It was just continuing the same content and the same kind of lessons. So I'll start with the PE class, which, if I'm being honest, PE was not my favorite. I am not the most athletic person, and I have always disliked PE. So I was very nervous starting out that course because I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to run. It's gonna be all those traumatic junior high experiences of being the out of shape one, the one that was always picked last. But it really wasn't like that. My professor of that class, he was very good about talking about how there's a variety of different ways to teach health and PE without having to be good at running or good at playing sports. I got to prepare like a really fun lesson plan where I combined health and physical activity, and like we talked about heart rate. And so I had like I had my classmates, but I would have had my students do this, where they would go to different areas of like in the gym, like jump roping, hula hooping, push-ups, sit-ups, weightlifting, and running laps. And then determine which one of those activities raised their heart rate the most. And we talked about how heart rate, you know, our heart rate can be a communicator to us of how our body is handling something, and that raising our heart rate is healthy for us. So that was probably one of my favorite lessons. I did also get to teach a PE lesson in my practicum I was doing my practicum in first grade when I was taking the PE class. And so the first grade PE lesson that I taught was basically musical chairs, but with hula hoops. I had all of these hula hoops, laid them out on the floor, and then I had the students like run and do other physical activities. They ran, they skipped, they somersaulted, they tiptoed, they crawled like spiders, like different things as the music was playing. And then when the music would stop, they'd have to try and get inside of a hula hoop. But then I would take away hula hoops. So we got to the point where we only had one hula hoop left, and I had the students themselves brainstorm how we could get every single student in a hula hoop. I actually think I talked about this in my video I filmed specifically about that practicum, so I guess I won't go into too much depth about that practicum because it literally just clicked that I already filmed that video. But so I loved that with level 3 and level 2, all of the classes we were taking, we got to immediately apply what we were learning in our practicum. And the practicums are an amazing experience leading up to student teaching because it gives you that experience of being in another teacher's classroom and not being afraid to kind of take the reins and teach. Obviously, you respect them because it's their classroom and you're not going to, take over when it's their classroom. Hi, sorry, I have a puppy now and he's trying to climb up on my couch. Anyways, and so it's just really good experience. With the art integration class, I love that class because we did not only focus on doing art, but we talked about music and poetry and how to really integrate that into the lessons. So I remember with a partner, we came up with a math lesson about the greater than, less than, and equal to signs. We found a song and created a dance to help the students remember what each sign is and how to use it. And so it was just a really fun class, and my professor for that class actually ended up being one of my he wrote a letter of recommendation for me for my job interview that landed me my 4th grade teaching position. So he was just always very fun. That class, we did some form of art every single day in that class, and he made connections to all of the general learning subjects. And so I really love that. And I also got to apply that into my student teaching, my practicum experiences. I taught a science lesson. I think I also mentioned this in my other video, but I'll briefly mention it again. I taught a science lesson about sound waves, and I was able to take my guitar and show them that when I play the guitar, you can actually see the strings vibrating, and that's what sound does in the air. It vibrates, creating waves, which carries it to our ears, all that fun stuff. And the students loved it. So with my practicum experiences, I did one in a 6th grade charter school, and it's actually the school that I am going to be teaching 4th grade in. So I'm very excited. I love the school. I worked there this last school year. I worked there as a special education TA with a blind student, and then I applied for their open teaching position and got hired to teach 4th grade there this next year. And I'm so excited. It's just such a good school. The administration is amazing. Anyways, so I was able to do a practicum there, which was really cool and just reiterated to me that I really wanted to work at this school. So in my 6th grade practicum, I taught science lessons. The one time he decides to want to play with his squeaky toy is when I'm filming a video. He never plays with his squeaky toy. Scout. Hey. Hi, Papa. Anyways, okay. Hopefully that won't be too annoying, and honestly this video is not going to be that much longer. I'm just going to go through, I have on my iPad my grad plan that I created that has all of the classes listed. So okay, in level 2 I had an English language arts class where I learned how to create and plan more language arts lessons. I had a Scout. No, Papa. No, Papa. I had a technology class where we learned how to create an entire Canvas course and use other things such as Canva and PowerPoint and Google Docs and all those things for the sole purpose of teaching both in person and virtually if we ever had to do that again, and how to kind of combine the two as well. I had my practicum experiences, and then I had a class that was designed to discuss what we were experiencing, kind of like a seminar for our practicum, and that's where we turned in all of our practicum assignments. So everything that we did in our practicum, we would turn it in as an assignment to our seminar class. One of those things was like we had to film a video of us teaching multiple times, and those assignments, the videos, and every assignment that we, like all the lesson plans we create, are solely designed so that to prepare us for the PPAT, which is a test now required in the state of Utah for anybody who's getting a teaching license. It's still kind of a whole learning process. Like there's not an official passing score yet or anything. So hold on, I have got to take away that toy from him. I know, I feel bad, but I gotta film this video. All right, so I'm back. That was my level 2 classes, and then level 3 was very similar. I had another language arts class where we created more lesson plans about teaching phonics and just all things language arts. We presented on different books, learned how to use books in our classroom most effectively, you know, learned how to do read alouds with the older grades, because you can do them with any grade if you do them correctly. We had our PE class, we had another practicum and another seminar for that class, and then we also had a math class. The math class was really just like learning how to break down all of the, like if we had a student who turned in a math assignment and they had the right answer but didn't do the math the way that we had taught them to do it, we'd be able to decipher how they solved it, as well as like just learning how to plan math lessons according to individual student needs. So there's a school in a kindergarten in my university, and so we would go and meet with kindergarten students, learn where they were at with what they were learning in math, and then plan a lesson specifically for them. And so it was like one-on-one lessons that we taught to the kindergartners. And so really that was it. Like these last 2 semesters, yes, they've been busy. It's been a lot of lesson planning, a lot of teaching lessons, both to my college classmates pretending to be elementary students, and in my practicum classes, really applying everything. And, you know, I was grateful that I got to see both a charter school and a public school, and the public school that I did my practicum at was actually the one that I attended when I was in elementary school. It was so cool seeing it from the perspective of an adult, and I mean it's very different seeing it as an adult rather than as a child, but like the 2 schools were different, but not just because one was a charter and one was a public school, but the economic status of the students and the developmental like ability of the students and the grade was a huge difference. I literally went from a practicum in 6th grade to a practicum in 1st grade, and I really do think that both of them prepared me in different ways for what I'm going to be doing this next year, which is teaching 4th grade, which is crazy. So I have no idea if this video was interesting at all or helpful at all, and please, if anybody is watching this and they have questions about, like more specific questions about the types of classes for each level, or you know, if you're going to school in Utah, you can message me and I can tell you more specifics about what university I go to. I don't want to put, you know, just out to the world what university I attended because it gives away my location. But if you're attending school in Utah and you think you might be going to the same university that I went to, please reach out to me. Or even if you didn't, like, I want to try and answer your questions. It's hard when I'm making these videos to put information out there that's going to be helpful, because I don't know what people need to know or want to know. So please, you can message me here on YouTube, you can message me through the comments, you can message me on Instagram, and my Instagram is under Elementary with Meredy, just like my YouTube is. So I think that's going to be all for this video. I cannot remember if I mentioned it or not, but I am currently living at a scout camp, so that is where I am right now. It is almost 11:30 at night, and I was up and I just decided I would get this video filmed because I've had it on my to-do list forever. And so anyways, I'm hoping to make at least one video showing a little bit more of the camp. It's honestly a really fun experience. I'm running the camp with my husband. I mean, he's really running it. I'm just offering support, and we've got our cute puppy here. And anywho, I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope that it was helpful for at least one person. That's honestly why I'm doing this in the first place. And you can look forward to some classroom setup videos and classroom prep videos, because I actually have my own classroom now, which is so crazy. So anyways, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and see you next time.